Okay, this is the second part of our lecture today, and we were talking about the use comma before a coordinating conjunction in compound sentences, or do not use a comma to join two words or two phrases in simple sentences. Here we have an example or three examples. Yesterday we went shopping, but we didn't buy anything. It's a compound sentence, but we can make it a simple sentence. Yesterday we went shopping, but didn't buy anything. What's the difference between these two sentences? In the first one, we have what? We have two subjects and two verbs. We went shopping and we didn't buy. And here in this sentence, we have we went shopping but didn't buy. One subject, two verbs. So it's a simple sentence. Okay, and you can also look in the for the second and the third one. Here in this exercise B, it's important. Describe which of the following sentences are compound sentence and which are simple sentences. Write CS, okay, compound sentence means, or SS, simple sentence, on the line at the left of each sentence, and use comma. Then add comma to the compound sentence. Okay, first you have to do what? To write whether it is a simple sentence or compound sentence. To write SS as simple sentence and CS compound sentence. And then when it is compound sentence, so you have to write what? Comma. She was often sad and sometimes she didn't eat her food. Okay, here we have a compound sentence. At first, she tied her with a longer rope. Okay, here we have to put a comma, but Blanchett. Okay, so just to work on this. For each set of sentences, make a compound sentence or a simple sentence with two verbs. Okay, here you have this. For each set of sentences, here you have a set of sentences. Try to make a compound sentence or a simple sentence with two verbs. This is, for example, number one. It became very dark. Okay. Blanchett was suddenly afraid. It became very dark and Blanchett was, so it's a simple sentence over here. Okay, no, it's a compound sentence because here we have different subject, two subject and two verbs. Okay, so I want you to work on these sentences. D is important here, is very important. On a separate piece of paper, write compound sentences using the coordinating conjunctions you have learned. About what? Follow the direction given. For example, here we have these important, and these are very important for the exam. Okay, so I want you to mark on them, they are important. For example, write a sentence that tell one thing you like to do and one thing you don't like to do. Okay, use but. Okay, so here this is an example. I want you to work on the on the second, third, fourth and fifth one. Okay, to give examples. Write sentence that tell two things you do every morning after you get up, and so on. Okay, try it now. Choose one of the following and write a paragraph. Here you have these choices, three choices. Retell a short folktale from your culture. Retell a children's story that you know. Retell the plot of a movie that you have seen recently. So choose one and write a paragraph. In your paragraph, focus on writing compound sentences. It's important to use compound sentences. Try to use the coordinated conjunctions that we have talked about, and, but, so, and, or, at least one for each, one time each. Okay, so these are the important thing in this part. To write a paragraph about one of these, and to use compound sentences, and also to use the coordinating conjunctions. Now we come to the third part, which is also a very important, punctuations, and here we are talking about the comma, 3 commas. Here we have the rule. Okay, we use comma when we use these 3 comma. Put a comma after a time order signal that comes before the subject at the beginning of a sentence. Okay, and here we have an exception: then, soon, and now are usually not followed by a comma. Okay, so the comma, we can use it when we after a time order. Okay, next, first, second, after that. We can use it after the time order that comes before the subject at the beginning of a sentence. Put a comma after the first sentence in a compound sentence. Okay, put the comma before the coordinating conjunctions. Here we have an example. These are the examples. And here we have, don't use comma between 2 parts of a simple sentence. We have to distinguish between simple sentence and compound sentence. In simple sentence, we have 1 subject, 2 verbs, maybe. Okay, but in compound sentence, we have 2 verbs, 2 subjects, 2 verbs, and maybe more. Okay, so when we have a simple sentence, we should not use comma, but the comma will be put comma after the first sentence in a compound sentence. And here you have the examples in this box. Number 3, put a comma between the items in a series of 3 or more items. The items may be words, phrases, or clauses. Do not use a comma between only 2 items. Here we have, for example, 2 items. Red and gold are the school order. There's no comma. But here, for example, I got up, comma, took a shower, drank a cup of coffee, grabbed my books, and here also we have a comma, and run out the door. Okay, so when there's a series of 3 or more items, we use comma, but when they are only two, so we don't use a comma. Here we have the practice to practice the comma in the following sentences. Add comma wherever they are necessary. So think about these 3 comma we have talked about, and read them again, try to understand them, and then work on this exercise to put a comma. Answer each question with a complete sentence. Here you have to answer when. This is about personal questions for the students to answer them, and here also to focus about what we have learned about the comma in this part. You can use, for example, coordinating conjunctions, time orders, or these things you can use in these when answering these questions, and these also very important exercises. Now we come to the writing process, which is the last part of this paragraph. You remember that we have talked about listening, or the pre-writing technique, which called listening here in green. Today we are talking about another technique or pre-writing technique, which called free writing. In this free writing, you just write down sentences as you think of them, without worrying, without paying attention to whether your sentences are correct or not. You should not pay attention to the grammatical mistakes, spelling, punctuation, comma, and these things. Just to write. The main goal is free writing is to keep your pencil moving on. Okay, just write, and then when you come in the second phase, when you come to revise your writing, so you have to pay attention and to look for these things. Okay, here we have an example, a memorable event in my life. Okay, and here we have a free write about a memorable event. Here the assignment for next week inshallah. It will be here, the assignment, the same thing I mean. Okay, here a review for what we have studied. Narration is a kind of writing. Use time order. Compound sentence is composed of two simple sentences joined by a comma and a coordinating conjunction. Four coordinating conjunctions and are and, but, so, and, or. Okay, comma are used after most time order